Hi, welcome to our channel. Today we're going to look at another mystery case.
Family members have identified 3 bodies discovered in a well as those of 2 Australian surfers and an American man who vanished last weekend, Mexican authorities announced Sunday. Relatives examined the bodies recovered from the remote well, approximately 50 feet, 15 meters, deep, and recognized them as their loved ones, according to Baja California state prosecutors. It appears that 3 individuals driving to the Baja Peninsula were killed by thieves who sought their truck's tires. The bodies were then allegedly dumped in a well near the coast. The well, located about 4 miles, 6 kilometers, from the site of the killings, contained a 4th corpse that had been there for a longer period. 3 suspects are in custody in connection with the case, which locals say has been solved much faster than the disappearances of thousands of Mexicans. The 3 men had been hiking and surfing a stretch of coast south of the town of Ensenada, posting idyllic photos of waves and secluded beaches on social media before they disappeared last weekend. Chief State Prosecutor Maria Elena Andrade Ramirez described how the journey of brothers Jake and Callum Robinson from Australia and American Jack Carter Rood probably ended. She speculated that the killers drove by, saw the foreigners' pickup truck and tents, and wanted to steal their tires. But when the foreigners came up and caught them, surely they resisted. At that point, she said, the killers were supposed to shoot the campers. The thieves then allegedly traveled to a location she described as a site that is extremely hard to get to, and allegedly dumped the bodies in a well they knew well. She said investigators have not ruled out that the same suspects also dumped the first earlier body into the well as part of previous crimes. They may have been looking for trucks in this area, Andrade Ramirez said. Supposedly, the thieves covered the well with boards. It was literally almost impossible to find it, Andrade Ramirez said, and it took 2 hours to remove the bodies from the well. Australian Treasurer Jim Chalmers expressed condolences to the Robinson family. I think the whole country's heart goes out to all of their loved ones. It has been an absolutely horrendous, absolutely horrific ordeal, and our thoughts are with all of them today, he said at a news conference in the capital Canberra on Monday. The site where the bodies were found, near the village of Santo Tomas, is close to the remote seaside area where the missing men's tents and truck were found on the coast on Thursday. Judging by their latest photos, the trip looked perfect. But even seasoned local expatriates question whether it is safe to camp on the virtually deserted coast anymore. The moderator of Talk Baja, a local internet forum who has lived in the area for nearly 2 decades, wrote in an editorial Saturday that the reality is the dangers of traveling to and camping in remote areas are outweighing the benefits anymore. But in a way, adventure was key to the victim's lifestyle. Callum Robinson's Instagram account featured the following slogan: "If you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much room." At the press conference, Andrade Ramirez was asked a question by a reporter who approved of such a large and quick search for foreigners, but questioned why, when locals go missing in the area, often nothing is done for weeks, months, or years. Do you have to be a foreigner in Baja California in order for there to be an investigation if something happens to you? Asked the reporter, who did not give her name. Every investigation is different, Andrade Ramirez replied, as if to emphasize the point. Dozens of mourners, surfers, and demonstrators gathered in the main square of Ensenada, the nearest town, to express their anger and sadness over the deaths. Ensenada is a mass grave, read one of the placards carried by protesters. Australia, we are with you, a man scrawled on one of half a dozen surfboards at the demonstration. One woman held a placard that read, "They only wanted to surf. We demand safe beaches." Gabriela Acosta, a surfer, came to the protest to show love, solidarity, and respect for the 3 lives that were lost. Acosta said, "Surfers in Baja are aware of the danger. We are women and we would sometimes like to surf alone," Acosta said, "but we never do that because of the situation. We always have to go accompanied. I think that what happened to them is just an example of the lack of safety in this state," she said. The surfers later held a paddle-out ceremony in which they formed a circle on their boards in the ocean. Baja California state prosecutors said they are questioning 3 people in a murder case, 2 of whom were caught with methamphetamine. Prosecutors said the 2 are in custody, pending drug charges, but are still suspects in the murders. A third man was arrested on a felony charge amounting to kidnapping, but that was before the bodies were found. It is still unclear whether he could face new charges. A third suspect is believed to have been directly involved in the killings. In accordance with Mexican law, prosecutors have identified him by name, Jesus Gerardo, aka El Quecas, which is slang for quesadillas or cheese tortillas. Andrade Ramirez said he has a criminal record and that other people may be involved. Last week, the mother of the missing Australians, Deborah Robinson, posted an appeal on a local community Facebook page for help in finding her sons. According to Robinson, Callum and Jake have not been heard from since April 27th. They have booked accommodation in the town of Rosarito, near Ensenada. Robinson said Callum suffers from diabetes. She also mentioned that the American who was with them was named Jack Carter Road, but the U.S. Embassy in Mexico City did not immediately confirm that information. The U.S. State Department said it was aware that a U.S. citizen was missing in Baja, but did not provide any details. In 2015, two Australian surfers, Adam Coleman and Dean Lucas, died in the western state of Sinaloa, across the Gulf of California, also known as the Sea of Cortez, from the Baja Peninsula. Authorities said they were victims of highway bandits. 3 suspects have been arrested in the case.
Thanks for watching. Write your opinion in the comments. Subscribe to our channel not to miss the next mystery story from real life.